As she said, my name is Nalie, and first of all, I want to thank you guys, Sociale, for having me today, and alongside these amazingly inspirational and successful women. So I'm really flattered to be here. Now, I was asked to tackle questions like, what is a Wonder Woman, and what makes you a Wonder Woman? So I Googled Wonder Woman, and I came up with these images, and wow, oh my god, gorgeous woman, standing fit and strong with her long, dark, black hair, and we gotta admit, amazing rack. And then there's me. Well, this was me about a year, 6 months ago, let's say, and maybe I would have fit the profile if you had me like a tiara and like a red and blue corset, extra padding. But this is me now. And I lost all my hair, and in fact, you know what? I'm here, I might as well show you, because it's actually grown back. Thank you. I'm really not as strong as I used to be. In fact, climbing up a flight of stairs could be really exhausting. But in about a couple of months from now, I'm going to get my breast removed. By the way, for those who don't know, if you didn't read the events program, I have breast cancer. I was diagnosed in July at the age of 24, and I'm now 25. So yes, I know, I'm really young, I can see all of your faces. So let me be proof that it can happen to anybody, so I really encourage you all to examine your breasts regularly. I'm currently doing chemotherapy every week, every Monday, including tomorrow, and I have treatments all the way up until the month of January. And then I'm scheduled for my full mastectomy, so the removal of my left breast, followed by radiation and 5 years of hormonal therapy. So I have a long way to go, but I've also come a very long way. So what makes me a Wonder Woman? I may have lost the look to fit the script, but ever since I was diagnosed, I've been fighting every single day. And I've proudly owned the title as the breast cancer fighter. But it's not even just about fighting cancer. It's just been so much more than that. Fight yourself, find yourself is what I keep telling myself. Because battling your own soul is harder than fighting for your health. That's one of the quotes that I wrote in a poem, and it's pretty much the theme of my entire blog. Ever since I was diagnosed, I took the habit to record and write my most personal thoughts on the daily throughout my entire journey, kind of like a diary, so your personal journal. But I decided to make mine public. And I started Nalie.ca. It's my blog, so currently from pages 1 to 8, you get to read about what it's like to have cancer in your 20s. From my chemotherapy appointments, actually the day that I found out I had cancer, I took my iPhone out and I started talking. To my sick days in bed, to my happiest moments in life, I take you guys with me every step of the way with absolutely nothing to hide. So, to summarize my journey, I thought it would be cool to stick to the superhero theme and describe it as a mission. Because, you see, every day of my life, actually, let me go back to it. Let's make it an episode. So on today's episode of The Breast Cancer Fighter, she must climb the highest mountain with the goal to reach its peak. Because every day of my life, like I was saying, it always feels like I'm constantly climbing this mountain. And you know, in the beginning it's hard, and then your muscles are aching and you're sore, and then as soon as, you know, everything starts getting better and you think you're about to reach the top, this gust of wind just brings you right back to the bottom. And that's what it feels like for almost everything. For example, my health, chemotherapy. Everybody always asks me, what's it chemotherapy. Well, you do one treatment and then symptoms pretty much hit you right away. You feel nauseous, your head hurts, chemo brain they call it, like you just don't feel like yourself, constantly out of it. But then you do whatever it takes to recover and you start feeling better day by day, and then you can actually, do all the stuff you love to do, because when you have cancer, you still have a life. And then as soon as you think you feel normal again, it's chemo Monday once more, and you gotta start right back at the bottom and start feeling sick again. But the thing, I don't think the hardest part is just the physical part, because it could affect you up in here. It's like when you climb, the higher you get, the thinner the air is, so the more challenges you face. And as soon as you think you just have so much weight on your shoulder, this big boulder comes crushing you back down. And this boulder can come in the form of, let's say, losing your best friend at the worst time in life. That's my dog, Tio. I had him for 9 years. And they say pets are supposed to be like therapy, right? Well, this October, we found out that he also had cancer. What are the odds, right? A brain tumor that took him away from me at the times that I needed him the most. Or maybe you could find out that the job that you're working for, your employer, is from which you're benefiting from insurance, of course, is actually closing down. Bankruptcy. So you officially become unemployed. These are just the minor examples of gusts of winds and big boulders that come my way at already really tough times. But despite the pain and difficulty, I keep climbing. And why do I keep climbing? Even though I keep being pushed back down? Because goddamn, that view is beautiful along the way. And if you just lift your head up and look around you and open your eyes, you get to see the greatest things in life that you would have never seen if you would have just stayed at the bottom, where it's so easy, they say. So, on top of that, in between all the obstacles, I got to experience things that I didn't even think were even possible. For example, in October, there was the Run for the Cure, and I ran 5 kilometers. And 30 kilometers while doing chemotherapy. I think I was the only one. And together, Team Nalie raised over $27,000 for the Cancer Foundation. On my 25th birthday, when I was really upset because I thought that I wouldn't be able to celebrate. And by celebrating, I mean, going out to the clubs and getting wasted. So I was like, oh man, I can't do anything this year. But instead, I got back up and I organized a cancer safe party, I guess. And I did a birthday fundraiser and made sure that all proceeds go to Hope & Co, which is my hospital's wellness center, and all proceeds went to the young adults with cancer programs. And I honestly had the most memorable time of my life, and we raised $2,500 for the cause. Along the way, I got to share my story with major news networks like CTV, CBC, Global, Huffington Post, at several fundraisers and now events like today. So I think the most rewarding part of my climb are the number of people's lives that I have apparently changed. And giving hope to those with cancer, but surprisingly, a lot without. Every day that I grow, every day that I climb, I grow even stronger. And what I realized is that the end of my mission, that mountain peak, it doesn't even represent the day that my cancer story is going to be over. It doesn't even mean that it's a day that there will be no more problems or challenges for me to face. What I realized is that that's just life. We're always going to have problems. But that mountain peak, that end of my mission, will be the day that I'm filled with enough Wonder Woman strength to keep smiling and be happy no matter what challenges I may face. And to just keep going, because when you're at the top of the mountain and you're looking down into this great big world, you can appreciate its beauty and be thankful for everything that we have and that we see. So that when that gust of wind comes and tries to take me away, it won't bring me down anymore. I was hoping to come here today not just to talk to you guys about breast cancer awareness, because you're all going to go on Nalie.ca tonight and read all about it, and subscribe to my blog, please. Instead, I wanted to come here to encourage you all to reach that mountain peak. Cancer might be my battle, but from the response I've been getting, every woman in here has their own. And while people say that my cancer puts life into perspective, guess what? You don't need to find out that you're dying to start living. And you don't have to be Wonder Woman to climb that mountain. And by Wonder Woman, I mean superhuman. Anyone can do it. You just have to want to and take that first step. Thank you.